I think you're going to find parts of this interesting. We know all of these people. I like and respect all of these people. But this beef is ugly in a way that's public now. And so it starts with Michelle Beadle, who is a friend of ours. Michelle Beadle has been very critical over the years of Stephen A. Smith, and this is long running. They don't seem to like each other very much. And so here's what Michelle Beadle is saying most recently about Stephen A. Smith.
Because I don't respect him, and life's too short. The morning of my last day on Get Up, as Greenie was giving me a heartfelt goodbye, and I awkwardly sat there, as I was leaving the set, they started a promo that Stephen A. Smith will be on the show tomorrow. Like, it is him. So let's stop acting like the guy gets worked to death. It's him.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm like, he made you look like fools for handing him a blank check in the first place because he doesn't even give a shit about the stuff that he's paid $1 gazillion to talk about. And now he's turning around and turning that into a money-making opportunity. Yeah. And the money-making opportunity, turns out it looks like it's a fraudulent crap business to begin with. Honestly, I'm not a religious person, but I pray for the downfall. I really do.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
It's gross, man. You got to have principles in this thing. Look, my principles have definitely cost me money. I'm sure they've cost me jobs. I get it. But I don't regret a single one of them. And sometimes I've been very holier than thou, probably, in some of the things I've believed in. All right, it was true to myself. But, man, at some point, you just say no. You got to say no,
But
man.
why? My problem is, why are the other people not saying no? Like, listen.
Why is this downfall going to be amazing? I don't know. It's just like a stupid opinion. Like, why is Stephen A's downfall going to be amazing?
Oh, a lot of people are going to enjoy that downfall because a lot of people don't like the climb and don't like many of the things that Stephen A. Smith has done, including who he's been critical of, because this, of course, is going to become about race, and I want to have the larger conversation about everything happening around Stephen A. Smith politically, where he's being used as a very useful tool by the right, but also profiting with great results on all the conquering he wants to do, but bringing to his doorstep fights that are now much larger than the ones he was having when it was just sports, as he continues, because he's a conqueror, to gather audience and welcome all of these fights. But this one surprised even him, because Cari Champion, after what Michelle Beadle said, this is what Cari Champion said he should have done in response to Michelle Beadle.
Stephen A., I played that Michelle Beadle clip for one reason and one reason only. I'm old enough to remember being on that show and getting in trouble based on some comments you said about women and whether or not they should know their place when it comes to abuse or non-abuse. Ray Rice comes to mind. Not going to get into the details of all of that. But Beadle just came for you yet again, like she did when I worked at ESPN. I wonder, do you have that same smoke for her that you have for Jasmine Crockett, that you have for Michelle Obama, that you sometimes display for me and Jamel Hill? Do you have that same smoke? I'm sick of it. Keep the same energy. And I call you and I root for you and I say, hey, I got your back. I'm happy for you. But you keep that same energy, sir, for everybody.
I understand Cari's comments. We'll get into that for a second, but I just want to seize on useful tool kind of minimizes Stephen A.'s convictions on these matters. I don't think Stephen A. is down to be used by anybody. I think Stephen A. knows exactly what he is doing.
I'll preface it with, I don't know any of these three people. I mean, and I've literally never talked to Michelle Beadle or Cari Champion before. I don't know any of these people. But I hate that from Cari Champion. And the reason I personal feelings about that, just the way that I am, is like, it's very clear that Stephen A., and Stephen A. says this, it's very clear Stephen A. certainly played a role in Cari Champion's career. And Cari Champion, sorry. And loyalty is a big deal to me. And it's why you're going to see Stephen A. is really upset about it, because clearly he feels betrayed in this spot. And I feel like if someone was really good to you and someone was a good friend, I don't know why you would do what Cari Champion did right there, where she's essentially saying, hey, you know, Can speak down about Michelle Beadle the way you speak down about these other women, but I mean, loyalty is a really big deal to me, and I think it's really lame what Cari Champion did there.
Okay, so let's get to Stephen A's response here in a second, but just so that you know, I mean, this goes without saying. This is something that I would say to Stephen A. Smith and probably have, because he finds himself to great profit in the center of these race and politic wars. Obviously not a great look for anybody to have a fight with the white woman and then come back strongest at the black woman when you're critical, because Stephen A. Smith lit Cari Champion on fire, taking credit, I think, with truths that he was saying about really trying to help her career. And this is, I believe, as hurt and betrayed as you will ever hear in an honest fashion, what Stephen A. Smith is saying, because even before you've heard this entire sound, what Zaslow is saying about Cari Champion there, when he says that's the part that's wrong, well, no, the part that would be wrong is what Stephen A. accuses her of here, which is saying, I never said those things about you and Jemele Hill. What things are you talking about? And at that point, it's beholden on Cari Champion to show us what those things are. Because here, Stephen A. Smith is just accusing her of flat out lying in order to get the clicks that come from being the person who piles on in this situation and takes out Stephen A. Smith, who is having all sorts of trouble with the black community because of the number of things that he's saying that are disparaging to the black community.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You just said, Cari, you called me, you root for me. Why would you root for somebody that called you out in Jemele Hill, who's your good friend? Because it's never happened. Never. I've shown you nothing but love. What are you talking about? You were hired at First Take in large part because of me. You stayed as long as you stayed and had the support of the people that supported you because of me. Do I need to get bosses to confirm that I'm telling the truth? You know I can. When we see the diverse people that come on First Take, black people, women, the list goes on and on. Who did that? That wasn't happening when Skip was there. That was me. What are you talking about?
That's I guess the dirtiest part of that sound, but that's a shocked, hurt, and betrayed Stephen A. Smith. Like whatever it is that you might think about the character or persona or wherever it is that he's a wrestling character who's made for television, that one hurts. And it's one of the things that sucks at being at the center of this war. I will also say to you, it's exactly what ESPN didn't want. And it's exactly what ESPN chose when they put Pat McAfee on and cowboy hats and no politics and flannel shirts. Like, it's a conscious decision, and we're going to interview Donald Trump because they didn't want these wars near the sports. And now that Stephen A's got more power to do this stuff in politics, he's not allowed to do that on ESPN. He's got two different deals now. One's a sports career, the biggest you've ever seen in sports, and one's a giant political career now that's got real possibility because he is in a really useful lane to use all of the sports stardom and media platform to now become a real, true political player. And it doesn't matter whether you agree with him or not. Are you listening to him? Because the attention of the day and the currency of the day, all that matters is the attention. Like, the currency is just, can you get eyeballs? And he gets eyeballs. And he has to say things in order to get those eyeballs. And he has to keep up when everybody's at this trough trying to chase him down.
So what did we learn? This is just so gratuitous. It just feels like high school gossip. I don't even know what our opinions are on this other than it's just ugly.
You don't know what my opinion is on this? What are you unclear about?
I mean, I hear your take, but it's not like I don't need the gossipy angles to know that take about where you stand on Stephen A. I mean, I think like at earlier, like we victimized Stephen A. I'm not down for that either. This is just all ugly, and I understand it gets traction and people like when people talk about it, but this one's empty. It is.
And so this is where all of the sports media beef goes to die? Because this is...
No, I think some of them have stuff. but this one doesn't. Like, it's just people that are willing to talk and air stuff out. Like, I don't even know what is at the heart of the beef between Cari and Jamel. It's just mudslinging.
But
no, Cari feels that he's not speaking about white women the way that he speaks about black women.
Yeah, but there seems to be more there that she alluded to and we didn't get to. Like, it's just none of my business.
There is more there. Like, when she mentions Jasmine Crockett, like, Stephen A. said that she has rhetoric for the streets. Like, he called Ben Shapiro, like, a genius. Nick Fuentes, the guy who agrees with that guy from before who called me a big J, he ultimately said that Stephen A. is clearly red-pilled in embracing the right wing. Like, when Nick Fuentes is saying he believes you're coming to his side, maybe your rhetoric is what's sparking some of these things with Cari Champion. He had to apologize, or decided to apologize, for what he said regarding Jasmine Crockett. But there are examples what feel like weekly where I'm looking at Stephen A. and going, man, I'm pretty surprised he's on that side of this conversation. And at this point, it's no longer surprising.
Yeah, I'm not
it's just
surprised.
where he is.
I'm not getting surprised by Stephen A.
So it is what it is. But that's the beef. I don't even think it's personal. I think that there is an element of like, man, this is almost the final straw. I don't think that this is.
Well,
the
she
beginning.
said she's tired of it. That was the final straw, I guess.
But you guys don't find interesting when you step back and just look at let's make it the last 10 years in sports, and let's make it Colin Kaepernick was too hot for the league. All of that is blackballed. And just make it everything that's happened, the entire timeline, pandemic and everything else. Football getting in bed with every single corporate partner and growing as, taking racism, out of the end zones where they were stenciling it. Patrick Mahomes says something. Roger Goodell says, I was so wrong. And you still see that it's Portnoy and Kraft's box. And you see what's happened with the move of what happened with Joe Rogan influencing young bros has now happened, over here in sports. But I want to talk about all of it.
But I don't want to talk about all of it because it becomes like the same conversation we've always had. Like, it moved because progressives are much better at taking it on the chin, because the right is actually effective when it comes to cancel culture. Like, you see what they do to major corporations. They kowtowed to a right base because they're the ones that actually get up in arms when it comes to cancel culture. Progressives have had to take it on the chin for 12 years. And if you want to use empty tweets as an example for snowflakedom and all of this actually moving a conversation, it's all BS. It's all BS. I'm a huge sports fan. Donald Trump has been inescapable when it comes to sports. The divide of keeping sports and politics, that lament that came from the right, it's all BS. They just wanted to keep away politics that disagreed with their personal
But how do you
convictions.
not find interesting the obvious shift of that over the last 10 years? That's not something that you find interesting?
There was a societal shift. And I think it's at the heart of it, it's money. Because the right is far more effective at actually canceling people.
I mean, the right's in leadership, right? Like the people who are comfortable bringing Donald Trump onto McAfee's show and having him be like, hey, look, it's Veterans Day. He's the commander-in-chief. But, I mean, let's be real. The guy's really funny. Like, that type of stuff happening on ESPN is because the people who are in power at Disney and everywhere else, like, that's who they want in power, right? And white men continue to seek and have that power. And it's just it's all laid out right in front of us. Sports media is sort of a result of where everything has gone. It's a microcosm of what we've seen generally in society as we've shifted this way.